Doom v Vamus v Vamus Epicureans. I said I was ready to record, but I'm not because I don't have my notes in front of me. This is a late night version of the Marvel Epic Collection podcast, one shot edition. Recording day of this video should have come out because, well, that's how it rolls sometimes. Anyway, I'm your host, Nick Smith. I'm joined by
Stojr from Stojr Shelf. How's it going, Nick?
doing good, just discombobulated because we've spent a good amount of time thinking about things for the future, and I forgot to put my notes back up, so now I'm all lost. Anyway, we are participating in Kurtis Findlay's Epic Marvel Podcast Reading Club, and this one shot is going to be our brief thoughts on today's issue, and we're actually recording today's issue on today. This is Marvel Team Up number 53. Nightmare in New Mexico, written by Bill Mantlo, drawn by John Byrne, inks by Frank Giacoya. Alright, so, when returning via the X-tastic car, I wrote that in my notes. I think I might have been sarcastic about that. I don't think they actually call it that, but I'm riffing off the Fantastic Car. Okay, you can tell I wrote these notes a while ago, too. I don't even remember them. Okay, so when returning via the X-tastic car, the X-Men and Spider-Man discover the Hulk has wandered into a ghost town that radio chatter says should be evacuated. Spidey goes to help, and he's aided in getting there by Banshee. Meanwhile, the Hulk is fighting some woodland creature called Wood God, and Spidey ends up in the middle of it all. All right, Stojr, what are your thoughts on this one?
So I like the art. I think it's a fun Spider-Man book. It's not really an X-Men book. They're just kind of there to Uber him to this town. I'm noticing a lot of like over pampering Professor X, and I'm like, how old is this guy? Like, we got to get the professor home, and there's some other issues we'll talk about coming up where it's like, hey, Professor X is we're so worried about Professor X. And I'm like, this guy's like 60, right? Like, he's not that old. But anyway, I digress. It's a fun issue. Wood God seems like a familiar character to me. I have no idea why. I must have seen him in some other comics or cartoons when I was a kid. This it's got some good art. It's got Hulk in it. It just doesn't feel like it belongs in this Epic collection. I mean, I know why, because the first couple pages have the X-Men. But then part of me is like, well, then give me the next issue. Like, if you're going to tease me with, Spider-Man and the X-Men, they should have just included the next issue to finish off the story, even though the X-Men don't appear in that issue at all. So, I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I agree. The only service this does for the X-Men is moving them from the Marvel Team Up annual book to get them back to New York, and that's it. I was with you on Wood God, right? Vaguely remember him. I think he might have shown up in Marvel Team Up previously. I kind of remember thinking that he was a bit annoying, but otherwise, yeah, not a whole lot of thoughts. In terms of Professor X and him being sickly, I kind of took that as fallout of, and maybe not so much from this issue, but other ones that you've been talking about, fallout of the Lalandra stuff, of him having those visions and him feeling kind of sickly because of that. Maybe that's what's going on, maybe not, I don't know.
It could be. I mean, it's like part of me just starting to notice that they're treating him like he's 95. And,
Yeah.
he's like 60. He's like 15
Yeah.
years older than me. And I'm like,
He's not
yeah,
Aunt May, right?
maybe it's because I'm getting old and I'm looking at it like, is that going to be me? But no, yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, the Wood God's, I'm not a big fan of like I like Hulk when he's drawn well and he's doing things and battling people, but like same thing with like Thor, like the over commitment to a certain type of speak, with Thor with like the Asgardian speak kind of gets old after a while. With Hulk, with talking in the third person or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and Wood God does the same thing. So I don't know if I need two people kind of talking weird like that, but otherwise, this is a fun little issue. I had no problem with it, and it's got some great art. Like Byrne's got some good splash pages in here. Especially with as you call the
Ectastic car.
Ecstatic with them all on top of it and things like that. So yeah, it's a good issue.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. It's not the most amazing issue in this, but it's fine. It does what it needs to do. I don't think I have anything else I need to say on it.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
mean, look, I don't think these Marvel team up issues like, and I rank them um on a curve here as I speak to the teacher. But I don't think that they're supposed to move a story forward. I think they're just like they're just supposed to put like two of the action figures in the same box for kids to pick up and play. So there's a part of me that's like, kind of looking at it like that. If I get good art and it's like a halfway decent story, it's fun, right? But yeah, does it belong here? Nah. It's here because the X-Men like showed their face. That's all.
Yeah, agree. Although I think the later team up issues, those I think belong. But we'll get to those when we get to them.
Mhm.
All right. Well, as always, if you guys have enjoyed our thoughts, follow us on YouTube, where we're going to read, rate, and review a full Epic Collection trade paperback on a fairly regular basis. We're talking about what that's going to look like in the near future. Audio, we have an audio podcast as well. Fully confirmed is on Apple now, so you can find us on
Oh,
Apple,
look at that.
Spotify. Yeah, sorry, I forgot to tell you before we started. Yep, audio podcasts and all those things. You can follow the link in the description to this video. You'll find both of our link trees if you want to find either of us on the internet in other places. All right, any other final thoughts, Stoger?
All good. Have a good one, everybody.
All right, take care.